Hey, so I just happened to be browsing some content yesterday and saw like a quick video from Stephan Speaks, and I thought this was such a good, solid, short list of how to vet someone or things to consider before actually making it official. So he notes that a more efficient and healthy way of cultivating a lifelong commitment is to go from a friendship to a marriage. And I actually believe that. I think that the more that we kind of, you know, keep some of the romance and the sexual part out of it, at least for a significant amount of time, like months and months and months, a year, the better things will be. Because I have seen many couples that were just friends and then just kind of turn the corner and become, partners. And I think there's something to that because, if you were to reflect and think about, your best guy friend or girlfriend, the best, friend of the opposite sex, some of us aren't attracted to our best friend of the opposite sex. That's cool. That's fine. Don't try to make something out of nothing. But for us that, could actually see that, and maybe we need to approach that, continue to nurture that friendship, and then evaluate them kind of based on these criteria. So the first one that Stefan mentions is discussing expectations for an exclusive relationship, which he also notes could be much different than the expectations for just dating. What's appropriate, communication, when and how often. Something I thought about was how to address family, how to address other people that are interested in us. Having friends of the opposite sex, I think sometimes people don't address that, and then that becomes a problem. Also discussing how to protect your general relationship, and also what information is important to, disclose to your partner, what information is not important to disclose to your partner, because some of us talk too much and we end up kind of, creating insecurities in our partner because we're just blabbing too much. Not that we need to lie or deceive, but I don't need to tell my man every time a man hits on me in the grocery store or hits on me when I'm out, at a birthday party with my girlfriend. I don't need to cause him to be jealous. Each of us should feel confident enough, and we probably will get looks, if we're a good, attractive and a person with a good attitude, you're going to get looks anyway when you're out with your significant other. And also, people start to notice when you're quote unquote taken, and they kind of come out of the woodwork. They come, the blood is in the water. And so people will notice you. But I think it's important to discuss expectations and how to handle those situations in order to protect your relationship. The second criteria on the list, when you're considering someone before you become official, is can you happily be committed to this person? And this is a good question. Do you have peace about taking yourself off the market for them and not entertaining other options? Can you agree to be loyal and faithful? If you have reservations about this, maybe it's not time to be official, and possibly maybe it's time to walk away if you are kind of teetering between, whether or not, whether you have peace about it. I remember, was it Dr. John Gray, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. He like has these stages of developing relationships or budding relationships, and he notes that one of the stages is actually uncertainty. So don't get this like mixed up with uncertainty, because you may be attracted to someone. That's one stage, and then the next stage, I believe, is uncertainty, and you have a right to be uncertain about someone because you don't really know them. But if you get to a place after attraction and uncertainty, and then I believe you are exclusive after that, if you feel like, I don't have peace about coming off the market, or I'm still kind of wandering around, my eyes are still wandering, or I'm just not completely zoned in on that person, then you have to ask yourself, you know, why are there hesitations? And is it best to commit to this person? Because you don't want to commit to this person and not really mean it and not give your all in the commitment. The next thing that Stephan mentions, number 3, is when considering becoming official, is do you see a future with them? He notes that an attitude like a go with the flow, let's see what happens, let's wait it out, or this person's good for now. I know a couple people that are good for dating people because they just pick someone that's, they're good for now. Like, I'll keep my eyes peeled. When I want to come out of this relationship, then I will. And, I'll be ready. The problem with that is that you're probably, because you're in a relationship with someone that's good for now, you're not even open, or the space isn't open to even recognize a proper partner or the best partner for you, because you're actually being distracted by someone that is not the best fit for you. So he says, when you're doing the whole wait it out, those are not good reasons to become exclusive. Something else that made me think of this, number 3, can you see a future with them, is a lot of us, hook up with someone because we're just like, it's time. Like, I've been, seeing them for a while, or I've been, invested in them for a while, so I should take it to the next level. Well, so what? Like, you need to have some courage that if they're not the right person and you don't see a future with them, to not commit to them. Don't like concede because you think, oh, okay, well, they really want this and I'll get used to it. Like, that's bogus. It's mad bogus. Anyway, he just says these type of relationships, when you're just kind of settling, basically, can be very unhealthy, toxic, and an unfair approach to take, especially when one person isn't aware of it. When you're settling for a particular person, that person may not be aware that you're settling for them, and it kind of wastes both of your time. The fourth thing to consider before becoming official is, do you want the same things? Plain and simple. Do you want something serious? I don't really condone casual relationships. I think they get messy. I think that as adults, we should be very intentional when we're dating. And if we're not dating with intentionality, then we need to be intentionally single and not be causing havoc in our own lives and others. But, don't shoot the messenger. Anyway, when you want the same things, do you want to go in the same direction? We shouldn't have to convince each other of a direction too. Like, if you know that you want to do something, you want to live overseas, you want to go back to school, you want to adopt, you want to live as a vegan on a, freely sustainable farm or whatever, you need to find someone or meet someone that is down with that. Like, don't try to convince someone that they should get married or that they need to live a particular life just because you want to live that life. Two people need to be on the same page. It's very, very important. That way you're not fighting each other when it comes to, having a common goal. The fifth thing that Stephan says was, have you addressed any lingering baggage? He notes that everybody's going to come with stuff. And as we get older, we're going to, normally come with extra stuff. But have these things been addressed? Have you, emotional or anything otherwise? You get to determine what baggage is for you. Some of us are flexible. Some of us say, oh, I can date a guy that has, two baby mamas. Or some of us can't do that, or some of us can date like an artist type, and we don't, or someone that doesn't care about finances or money, or they care about happiness or whatever. We need to address any lingering baggage, emotional, mental, family wise, otherwise, so that we can move forward with the person and that baggage isn't holding us up from becoming something more. And so, as an individual, you need to decide what are your, like, kind of can't stands as far as baggage. What are your kind of like no goes, your non negotiables when it comes to baggage, and what level that like baggage is at? Because, maybe they have some residue from their child's mother or father, and maybe that residue, when it comes to 1 or 10, 10 being the highest, maybe it's at like a 2 or a 3. Maybe that you can't be dealing with anybody at a 7. Maybe it's too fresh, or maybe it's unresolved. I've been in both of those situations, and I definitely kind of know where I want to be when I'm dating someone with children. And then address yourself. Have you healed from your past hurts? And are you in a healthy enough place to move forward with someone new? Are you, have you addressed your past trust issues? Have you addressed your past, like, whatever the issue may be? Have you addressed your sensitivities, your trigger points, things that kind of like take you somewhere else or cause you to be extra sensitive, about something. And sometimes we have some kind of all bets are off things, like I can't date, a person that comes with a particular, item, because we know, hey, that's not going to work for me according to my childhood experiences or whatever. Interestingly enough, God works in very mysterious ways when it comes to stuff like that. So just make sure that you are healing. As I coach singles, so much of us preparing for relationships, excuse me, is us healing and doing a lot of self work and self care and developing our love for our own selves before we find ourselves in a relationship. A quote I think of, I think Dr. Phil said, a relationship will only be as healthy as the least healthiest person in the relationship. And so it behooves us to heal, to address our baggage, and also to be honest with those that we are considering as mates and considering becoming official with. We need to help them address we need to be honest about what we see as far as their baggage as well. And a lot of times we can help them heal, but we don't need to be a fixer type of partner. They need to have done some work themselves, and they're clearly getting better all the time and ready to step out, take risks with someone new, and get even better than they are. But anyway, I thought these were really good points that Stephan Speaks made. I hope that this serves you well, and I'll see you next time.